Chapter 13. That which I am doing at present. My prophecy is that there will not be destruction but creation. All prominent persons of clear vision have predicted in their own way that the coming years were most crucial and critical. In Bible, there is reference to 7 times as the time of destruction of the world. It coincides with the present times. In Islam, there is reference to a great crisis in the 14th century of the Hijri era. Bhavishya Puran has also predicted outbreak of catastrophic conditions during these days. Similar prophecies have been made in Guru Granth Sahib. The famous poet Sur Das has foretold about the world facing calamities during these days. There are similar forebodings in the carvings of the pyramids of Egypt. Several Indian prophets have also made such prophecies on spiritual as well as on astrological basis. Soothsayers like Jean Dixon, Professor Henry Anderson, John Bevere, Cairo, Arthur Clarke, Nostradamus, Mother Shrimpton, Anandacharya, who have great influence in the Western countries and whose predictions have been 99% correct, have also predicted horrible possibilities. In an international conference of occultists held some time back in Korea, similar dreadful possibilities were hinted at. A conference of the specialists of the whole world in the science of future foretelling, futurologists, was held in Toronto, Canada, in which it was stated that we are very close to a holocaust. Those who are said to be experts in the science of astronomy have expressed the view that the spots appearing on the sun and frequency of solar eclipses will have harmful effects on the life of Earth. The appearance of the comet named Halley in the beginning of 1985 is also said to be harmful to the inhabitants of the Earth on account of its poisonous gases. People having ordinary common sense know that due to exponential growth in human population, not only food and water will become scarce, but people will not get even space to live in and walk on. Due to over-industrialization and mechanization, air and water have become poisonous and scarce. Mineral oil, metals and coal will not last even for 50 years more. On account of radiation due to nuclear explosions, the present and future generations will suffer from dangerous diseases like cancer. If there is outbreak of a nuclear war, not only humanity but also other species and vegetation will be wiped out. The imbalance in temperature is likely to create storms in the oceans on account of melting of ice in the polar regions. Thus, the prospects of the return of Ice Age are being predicted. The sum and substance of all this is that there is definitely going to be some terrible turmoil and upheaval. There is a forecast about the change of era in 2000 AD. Thus, one can easily imagine about the possibility of destruction before new creation of melting before molding. Statesmen and journalists are also worried very much about such a disastrous prospect befalling the globe. Several global organizations and peace missions are busy at present in devising ways and means to avert the danger of total annihilation. In the past also, there had been wars between Devatas and Asurs, but a possibility of utter destruction as looming large at present had never arisen before. The dire prospect is not hidden from the divine vision of rishis who are living in their astral bodies. They cannot remain mute and helpless spectators at such a crucial time. Rishis do not perform tapasya for attaining heaven, liberation, or siddhis. Even worldly persons can attain these boons through occult practices. Rishis have undertaken the responsibility of doing God's work and they remain ever vigilant in the performance of this divinely assigned task. The divine powers of the rishis, who are extremely kind to me, have got all the work, including the performance of 24 Mahapurushcharans of Gayatri, done through me for the welfare of mankind. They are concerned about the gathering clouds of a total holocaust which are hovering at present over the whole earth, and they are seriously trying to avert it. One of the steps in this direction is to fill me up with unalloyed spiritual purity, power, and brilliance. The present phase of Sukshmikaran is going on in the form of Savitri Sadhana. This has nothing to do with ego-centered fame, prosperity, superiority, or magnificence of a particular individual. The only aim is to make the faltering steps of upward human growth and human dignity firm. This can be accomplished by 5 Veerbhadras to whom this task has been entrusted. Ram and Lakshman had sat on the shoulders of Hanuman. This is nothing but giving credit to or choosing a medium. How could the great battle of Mahabharata have been fought on the basis of a single Gandiv bow? It will be regarded an impossible task by ordinary common sense, but what God wills gets fulfilled anyhow. A strong man like Hiranyaksh was torn to pieces by Bhagwan Varaha. It is my personal vision that this time also the demoniac forces will not be allowed to succeed. Those who are at present involved in destruction will be transformed and become co-operators of the forces of new creation, or new persons will be born to overturn them, and in this way the transformation will be effected. India is destined to play a prominent role in establishing real world peace securely founded on conscious spiritual unity in diversity. While many prominent and great thinkers are apprehending annihilation, it is my emphatic prophecy that the evil, which in reality is an inverted form of good, will be reconverted into the original good. That which is topsy-turvy at present will be set aright. Let this statement of mine be taken with the seriousness it deserves. The dark clouds of evil tendencies created by unbridled scientific advancement will be blown away by a forceful hurricane of divine tendencies. Darkness will be dispelled and eternal light will shine forth. This is possible only through the irresistible and invisible power of the rishis. It should be taken for granted that the collective will of ordinary people is mighty. Public opinion exercises strong pressure. Those who are today capable of causing harm will have to yield before awakened public opinion. Pragya Abhiyan has launched the movement of awakening and energizing public opinion. This will go on increasing and becoming more and more powerful, and the minds of the people will be changed for the better. People will think of utilizing their efficiency and skills for growth rather than for destruction. Intelligence is a great power. It performs miracles in whichever direction it is directed. Daunting problems of the present times, pollution, amassing of weapons of colossal mass destruction, universal naked dance of immorality and self-indulgence, natural calamities are all interlinked. It is not possible to solve them in isolation. Solutions have to be found for all of them together. With the requisite determination, willpower, and insight, the solutions will be found. There are two main powers which make or mar. One is the power of arms and money, and the other is the power of illumined intelligence and organization. People have been in the past subdued by and made subservient to the power of arms and money, and have been compelled to act against their wishes. This is demoniac power. In future, divine power has to be invoked and tapped so that people may experience the influence of the power of love, awakened intelligence, and enlightened organization. People will then see the miracles that divine power can perform when yoked for the achievement of high creative aims. Justice should get due respect. Moral and ethical values should get proper recognition. All should live together harmoniously and with love, should have the spontaneous urge for mutual sharing and caring. When these principles will be accepted by the people at large in right earnest, they will get proper direction. New strategies will then be devised, and the goal of universal peace, goodwill, and prosperity will ultimately be attained. If the two principles of Atmavat Sarvabhuteshu, seeing one's own Atma in all forms of life, and Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, to consider oneself as member of one integrated global family, are followed, people will immediately be able to know which are undesirable tendencies and vices lodged inside themselves and how much struggle and courage is required to get rid of them. Human capacity for progress and growth is unlimited. Once a person makes up his mind to work for a high, noble, and sublime aim, there is nothing difficult for him to achieve. There is going to be one world, one language, one religion, and one culture in the near future. The day is not far off when discrimination on account of color, caste, class, sex, and money will end. It will intuitively occur to the people across the whole world what has to be done to achieve this goal. And awakened and empowered persons will play a leading role in the accomplishment of this heroic task. Such a time is coming soon. We should eagerly and expectantly look forward to its arrival and consciously prepare ourselves to play our assigned roles in the divine drama.
My life, its legacy and message. हमारी वसीयत और विरासत. Author Sri Ram Sharma Acharya.
If you found this video helpful, then please like, comment and share it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel Rishi Chintan. Please press the bell icon so that you will receive notifications of our upcoming videos. Thank you.